Time for sound design. In today's video, I'm going to use the Electro-Harmonix Big Muff guitar pedal, distortion pedal, to create some interesting sounds. And I might actually plug my guitar into this, but I will start off with just see what it can do without a guitar, just the guitar cable, plug it into Ableton and see what's happening. So I plugged the Big Muff into my sound card and I have a guitar cable into the pedal, and this is the chain that I have in Ableton. So there's a low cut EQ, an amp, a speaker, a little pinch of reverb. So with the pedal off, you don't hear anything. If I turn the pedal on now, you will hear some noise. When I touch the cable, you get this nice tone. So let me start with recording this. Okay, that's the first sound. For the second sound, I'm going to enable the pedal in Ableton. I have a distortion pedal here. So now you get a really... I'm not touching the cable. This is just... So that's a nice sound. By moving the cable around, you get some variation. And for the third sound, I actually plugged in my Fender Telecaster. And let's see what we can get from this. Okay, enough guitar abuse. Let's go to Ableton, put the sounds into simpler and see what kind of instruments I can make from it. So starting with the first sound, I'm gonna freeze and then flatten it so that I have the guitar amp sound into the sample. And then drop it into simpler and open it up. So this was the pitch at which I recorded the sample. If we take this part and first pitch it to a C, so that when I play a C on the keyboard, you actually hear a C. Lower, that sounds very gnarly. So I loop the sample now, maybe put a tremolo on it, so you get a bit more volume automation. And make it two voices. I put some chorus on it as well. And I'm going to put an LFO to modulate the filter cutoff frequency of simpler. Sync that to the beats. So maybe to a quarter note. Especially when you lower the depth, so it doesn't go all the way from 0 to 22 kilohertz, the filter cutoff here. Change the release time as well. A second. Put the rate to an 8th note. And let's see if an arpeggio. Yeah, now we get somewhere. So especially octave C4 is a good octave to play this in. I like to name my simpler instruments so I know how I created the sound. So now I named it guitar cable noise from or with the Electro-Harmonix Big Muff pedal. And I also give some instruction to myself, play in octave C4. So when I later use this instrument and load it up, when I build a track, I kind of have an idea what I was going for when I designed the instrument. So let's put some notes in. The depth control of the LFO, that's going to be the macro parameter. So I'm going to group all these effects into an instrument rack. I can save this instrument and I can assign macro parameters. Let me save this instrument as Big Muff Noise Arp. So moving on to sound number 2 and instrument number 2. So back to Ableton, I put it into simpler and see what I can make from it. So first again, I'm going to freeze this track and then flatten it. So I have the amp into the sample. And then I'm going to drag it into simpler and open simpler and then see what we have. So I play it in the original pitch. I have to tune it again to C. This one is a bit more noisy. I'm going to put it as a monophonic, so one voice. And I immediately think I want to make this more wide, so I need to have a reverb on this. This could be a very big drone. So long notes, long release, long attack. But I also want to filter it down a bit. And I want to change the start and end points. So there is already some natural movement in this sample from the way that I move the cable around. So I want to preserve that. I put on loop and see if the loop point works like this. There's a bit of a click, so I'm gonna change the start and fade. Oh no, it is seamless, so this is great. I want more stereo spread, so I'm gonna use an auto pan after the reverb to pan in a very subtle way the audio around. So when I put in one note for 8 bars, it sounds like this. Yeah, this is a nice drone sound, and I'm gonna group all this in the instrument rack and save it as Big Muff, Big Muff, Big Muff drone or noise drone. All right, moving on to sample number 3. This was me messing around on guitar, making all kinds of noises. So it's a bit of a long sample, so I'm gonna see which bit I'm gonna focus on. I think it's the last part where I use the pick sort of 19 degrees on the string of the guitar and just move it like. So I think that is an interesting sound to use. So let's see if that works. So back in Ableton. Yeah, it was this part somewhere here. So let's put that into simpler. Maybe this one. So it is a D. There's a lot of noise in the tail. So this original pitch, if you play it 1 octave lower, or 2 octaves lower, this almost sounds like a synth. So original pitch, 2 lower. Yeah, that could be the one. So let me first put it in a few notes. this is mysterious, and if you just put a hard trap beat on this, or like a boom bap, dusty kicks and snares, or even just a house beat like a 4 to the floor, let's put it 1 octave higher. Little delay, short. Doesn't even need it. That's it, I think. This one is just pitch it down, bit of EQ. It's already mono sound, so I don't need to mess with that. This last one is really cool. It's just pitched down 2 octaves, a bit of EQ, and that's it. Of course, I use the pick in a weird way to create this sound, so that's kind of the unique thing about it. Alright, that's it for this sound design video. So I used this pedal, the Big Muff from Electro-Harmonix. It's a classic pedal. It's been around for a long time. There's many variations also of this pedal. This is the really big edition. It's a distortion fuzz pedal. So I recorded 2 sounds just with the guitar cable in it, and of course then from the Big Muff it goes into Ableton into a amp in Ableton, the default amp that comes with Ableton. The third sound I created is with my electric guitar. I did a bunch of weird things and I took the weirdest sound, and that sounds like it's maybe the best sound because it's so simple. You can totally see like a house, sort of an old school 90s house with a double note here in the end. So that was it for today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and see you in the next one. By the way, if you like these kind of sampled instruments, I have a sample pack on Gumroad now with 50 instruments that I created by sampling sounds and instruments and put them into Simpler. So if you use Ableton, go over to Gumroad. The link is in the description. It is for free. Download it and start making music.